Alright, what's good, y'all guys? BB Tim, welcome back to another reaction. We got Poly Playtime Chapter 5 Story Explain and Recap. This game came out 2 hours ago, and people are already doing all these breakdowns. I do want to try to do some gamer reactions to this Poppy Playtime thing. I haven't really watched the whole game yet. I just started watching some 8-Bit Ryan on it. So this is gonna be some spoilers for me, but I feel like I gotta react to this. I definitely gotta react to this. So we're gonna get this reaction, guys. I ain't gonna do that much talking. So without further ado, you guys, hold on, let me make my webcam bigger. Let's get to the video and play.
If you thought the worst of the Playtime Co. factory was already behind you,
I ain't gonna lie, Huggy Wuggy and Kissy Me, they kind of look weird in this animation, but I don't mind it. But oh, so like they do eventually meet up and they are bonded together. Like I said, I haven't watched a full gameplay. I only watched like 10 minutes of it. I seen this came out, so like I had to react to it. So this is definitely gonna be like a spoiler.
and you haven't gone deep enough. The story of Poppy Playtime Chapter 5 Broken Things starts exactly where Chapter 4 left off. Trapped inside a laboratory booth with no allies and an old friend pounding on the glass. The chapter opens with what became—
I will say, I'm my bad for Paul so much. I do prefer Chapter 4 animation style than Chapter 5, but Chapter 5 not that bad. Come to find out, a lot of people, this chapter is getting a lot of heat for the animation style.
Playtime Co.'s biggest commercial failure, the wrong side Outimals. Plush toys you could flip inside out, turning them into a completely different toy. The video cuts between this and the scenes of toys suffering under the prototype's hands, using them to create new, failed experiments. A detail that, as you'll see later, matters a lot more than it seems. And the instant the game starts, Huggy Wuggy shows up, back from the dead and angrier than ever, slamming the glass window that separates him from the player. Of course, it doesn't take long before he breaks through. From there, a brutal chase begins that forces you to run through the factory's lower corridors, throwing you straight into the ventilation ducts, almost like a deja vu from the very first chapter. Luckily, you manage to lose him, but the calm does not last. During the escape, you find a mysterious place where children and even adults linked to Playtime Co. apparently lived. But
hey guys, do you
ain't no way I got an A already,
like Disney
man.
Plus or TV shows like
We not even
Stranger
5 minutes
Things?
into
How would
video.
you like to be on one? Be one of the first
But Huggy appears again and chases you until he—
Yeah, that boy's bloodlusted. At this time, the prototype didn't even order him to kill us. He's doing it for the love of the game.
He corners you in an elevator. After an attempted attack, the elevator collapses and drops into the depths of the factory. And this is where Broken Things takes a plot twist we haven't seen anywhere else in the saga. Huggy Wuggy rips the grab pack clean off you, leaving you completely defenseless. Ever since Chapter 1, the grab pack has been your main tool for everything. Solving puzzles, moving around, defending yourself, and now you just have nothing. The darkness on this lower level is crawling with the prototype's experiments, known as Outimals. Those same failed plushies from the ad, but transformed into twisted creatures that roam through the shadows. They've been restored by the prototype and turn into beings that exist only to suffer. To avoid them, there are lights scattered around the area that you can turn on to scare them off, but every step's a risk. In the middle of that darkness, the player finds Globy, a Playtime interactive media product which serves as the perfect companion, always ready with a smile. It's definitely no grab pack, but it does have two key functions. It works as a flashlight, and it emits ultraviolet light to reveal hidden messages on the walls. Now with its help, you push forward through the recycling floor until one of the Outimals attacks you violently. Just when everything seems lost, an unknown toy appears to save you. Giblet, a new ally who's had one clear goal for years, to take down the prototype, and who seems to have at least some idea of how to do it. But the first thing Giblet asks is for you to go down to the boiler area. There, you're met with a devastating scene. Brawn, the dinosaur who finally appears in his bigger body's version, is very injured. His mangled body is being fed upon by dozens of small creatures devouring him from the inside. But inside his mouth, there's something the player desperately needs: an old grab pack with a red hand and a blue hand. Later on, while investigating the area, you find a completely new tool: the pressurized hand.
Oh, I just realized the grab pack that we had before was really OP, and Huggy Wuggy really ripped it out of us. He had the Ami hand, the green hand, and that purple hand. We really need that grab pack.
Powered by a steam mechanism and capable of sticking to surfaces to shatter glass or push heavy objects. Now with the grab pack recovered and the new hand, you manage to escape the boilers. And when you reunite with Giblet, you realize that he's not alone. He's accompanied by Chum, a gigantic toy from the same collection as Huggy and Kissy, except instead of calming children with hugs, it calms them by putting them inside its belly. After a short conversation, the player decides to join them in their cause against the prototype. Now with new tools and allies, the player ventures deeper into the factory's entrails in search of answers. After moving through several rooms, you manage to find a secret code that unlocks access to classified playtime code documents. But that's not all. Next to them, you also find electromagnetic cuffs for the grab pack, an upgrade that lets you latch onto magnetic walls and open up new exploration routes. With all that in hand, it's time to head back to Giblet and Chum to share the discovery. And this is where the story takes a major turn. While reviewing the documents, Giblet learns about something called the negation compound, a substance capable of shutting down the prototype's cellular regeneration. Basically, the only thing that can truly kill it. The problem is that the original formula was destroyed, but a backup copy is stored in the data center. So the plan is clear. We have to get there no matter what. The route to get there goes through the reanimation area, crossing a place known as Sweet Street. This was a kind of recreated natural environment inside the factory, designed to release the toys and observe how they behaved outside the laboratories. Basically a testing ground disguised as paradise. But before you can move out, a familiar presence interrupts. The prototype appears. The player has no choice to hide, and does it in the most unexpected way possible, jumping inside Chum's belly. A moment.
Yo, that gotta be terrifying to experience in real life. It's like, it's not that unexpected like the guy said, because like obviously he was gonna do that eventually, but man, that gotta be unsettling to witness, bro.
That is as absurd as it is pretty tense, because the prototype is searching for Huggy Wuggy, who seems to have completely gone off the rails. Before leaving, the prototype orders Chum to protect the data center, which means that, without even realizing it, the prototype has just sent our ally straight to the very place we need to go. With the path finally clear, the player heads towards reanimation, passing through the research and development rooms. It's in here that they find one of the most powerful upgrades in the entire game, the Yellow Hand, capable of controlling elements like fire, electricity, and ice. And if you look closely...
Wait a minute, so that means the grab pack that we have now is more OP than our original grab packs? Is that what y'all trying to tell me? That's exactly what it seemed like.
This hand actually already appeared as a clue in earlier chapters, specifically the yellow handprint in Elliot Ludwig's office in Chapter 2. So now we finally know where it came from. Later on, however, the route becomes especially disturbing. The player reaches something like a psychiatric hospital inside the factory, a place designed to brainwash the children who were turned into toys.
Hi.
Yo, I cannot wait to get YouTube Premium, bro.
They did this through a video starring a woman named Miss Gracie, who acted as a wellness and integration counselor. In one of the rooms, the player discovers a machine capable of synthesizing and replaying those children's memories. And what they see when they activate it is chilling. The player relives, in first person, what Huggy Wuggy went through as an experiment. He was forced to carry out absurd tasks, to sacrifice other companions, and to watch Miss Gracie's videos over and over again. In one of those memories, we see the exact moment Huggy manages to break free, kills an employee, and escapes. An event that had already been hinted at in VHS tapes from previous chapters, but now we can experience from Huggy's perspective. And speaking of Huggy Wuggy, it doesn't take long for him to show up again to try and finish you off. But this chase has a detail that changes everything. During the escape, a projection of Kissy Missy appears on one of the screens, and Huggy stops. stops. He just stares at her, almost frozen, as if for an instant he regains something human about himself. It's the first time that we see he actually feels something for her, a bond that goes beyond being simple experiments. And it's that brief moment of calm that gives the player the edge they need to get away and reach, at last, Sweet Street. Giblet had suggested taking Sweet Street to cut down on the distance to the factory's data center. However, what none of them expected is that someone was still alive in there. Lily Lovebraids, a failed experiment with two completely different personalities and an ability as striking as it is dangerous. She can control those braids at will, using them as a weapon, a tool, and a trap. Though Lily welcomes the player with an apparently innocent request. She needs to prepare a tea party because a very special guest is coming and she won't take no for an answer. So she orders you to the basement to take a batch of cookies out of the oven for the occasion. But what you find down there is far worse than empty shelves. Poppy and Kissy Missy have been kidnapped. Lily intercepted them while they were trying to escape the prototype, and now she's holding them captive. So Poppy, who we had lost sight of since she abandoned us at the end of Chapter 4, returns under the worst possible circumstances. From here on in, the strategy is clear. You gotta play along with Lily while looking for a way to free your allies. And during that macabre performance of preparing tea alongside other guests like Baby Longlegs, the player discovers something truly disturbing in Lily's room: the corpse of Miss Gracie, the same counselor in charge
Oh, that is dark. That is real dark.
of the children's well-being at the factory. Yeah, that same woman who appeared in the brainwashing videos. The toys in the prototype got their revenge on her, driving her just as insane as they were, and turning her into Lily Lovebraid's disturbed plaything.
Get back! Get back! Mama, I was just trying to make you all happy. I wasn't. Please, don't hurt me!
Look for that, you're clean.
We're not gonna hurt you, Miss Gracie. We have something very special planned
Bubble
for
chops.
you.
Locking her up for over 400 days in a prison.
Wait, so what they wanted to do to her? They didn't hurt her. Cause I know she wanted dead. So what type of torture methods did they do?
So she would suffer through her new eternal life. The player manages to free Kissy and Poppy, but Lily has no intention of letting them go that easy. So she forces the protagonist to play red light. When she stops humming, you have to stay perfectly still. If you move, you die. A mechanic that calls back to the
terrible.
deadly games in Chapter 2 with Mommy Longlegs, but with Lily's sadistic twist. Just as you reunite with Poppy and Kissy in the attic, Lily catches them and forces them to sit down for tea. And that's when the prototype appears in its complete form for the first time.
About time.
Our special guest is here.
About time you showed up. Oh, he's full of red smoke. Oh, that is terrifying.
What until now had only been seen as claws, shadows, and mechanical legs is finally revealed in all its monstrosity. Without even a word, it grabs onto Poppy and smashes her face.
Oh
A
my
brutal
God.
moment that makes it clear the prototype has no intention of protecting her, only controlling her. Kissy Missy
Kissy,
reacts by
man.
throwing herself in to defend the player and
Oh my
attacking the
God.
prototype directly, causing a red liquid to gush from its body in huge amounts. Now it's up for the player to escape Lily, who has completely lost it. A long, chaotic chase begins through the hallways of her dollhouse.
An IQ of 85 to 115 is considered average in the US, and IQ
Thank God they all skip over.
Dodging her braids and her traps until Lily finally falls into the ground and ends up crushed by a massive structure.
I didn't know she did.
giving her an ending about as forceful as it deserved. After leaving Lily behind, the player reunites with Giblet and what remains of the group. The scene is devastating. Poppy has been badly wounded and has lost an eye. The prototype didn't settle for capturing her. It wanted to leave a mark. But of course, there's no time to grieve, because that plan is still on. To reach the data center, they need to take a train that'll carry them straight there, and that means crossing one of the most sinister laboratories in the entire factory, the place where the prototype experiments to create the Automals.
She's all you talk about.
Oh, my boy.
You don't get to call me that. Ollie's gone and I'm a test run on the prototype. When you get her back, you'll pick up a hammer just like him. Just like
A place where broken toy parts pile up like garbage, and where every operating table tells a story you'd rather never hear. After a long stretch of dodging traps and creatures, a familiar presence returns again. Huggy Wuggy shows back up to pursue the player without mercy. This time, it seems like there's no escape. It's about to catch them when it suddenly stops dead. Standing in front of it is Kissy Missy. After so long apart, after everything they've suffered as experiments, the two of them reunite. It's honestly a gut-wrenching moment, because for an instant, it feels like there's still something human left inside those creatures. But of course, the prototype allows for no peace. It shatters the scene and ends both of their lives, brutally and for good. Huggy and Kissy, two of the saga's most iconic toys, die together in the most horrific way. A devastating blow the player has no time to recover from. Unable to process what you just witnessed, the protagonist escapes onto the train, but the prototype won't let them go.
Oh no, not Huggy and Kissy. I did not want them to die, especially Kissy. I love Kissy. Now I feel like I'm about to cry, bro.
That easily, and throws itself onto the tracks after them, trying to tear the car apart with its mechanical claws. After several desperate attempts, the player manages to shake it off and crash the train, but the prototype is still alive. It crawls out of the wreckage and takes the chance to land a lethal strike on the player and finally capture Poppy once and for all.
Oh, so we died too?
And this is where Broken Things takes its most unsettling turn, because the player comes back. Something strange has been happening since the very start of the game, small signs hinting that the player's death doesn't work the way it should. Everything seems tied to the Poppy Gel, that substance that's been present throughout the saga since the first chapters, and that finally begins to reveal its true purpose. The player, or at least a part of them, gets back up and heads into Playtime Co.'s data center. There, following Giblet's directions, they restore a backup, and what appears on the screen is something nobody expects. The one who returns as a machine is Dr. Harley Sawyer. The same scientist who died in Chapter 4 comes back once again as an artificial intelligence inside the system.
Well now, this is a rather interesting turn.
Sawyer knows the prototype better than anyone. Its nature, its weaknesses, its secrets. He's the key to ending this nightmare once and for all. And with that revelation, Broken Things makes it clear the war against the prototype has only just begun. And now, it's time to strike back. Keep descending into the depths of Playtime Co. with the next videos we're leaving right here. And if you don't want to miss anything—
Alright, y'all, I got in this video. Hurry up, upload this to YouTube. This is insane. I know exactly what my gamer's reaction gonna be. It's gonna be about the prototypes. Gamers reacted to the prototypes reveal and gamers' reactions to the prototype killing Huggy and Kissy. I low-key gonna cry, bro. The fact that I got spoiled, I did this to myself. But man, now I'm emotional. Hope you guys do the video. If y'all did, make sure I got you punch the like button in the face like a boss, and I'm out.